Hey everyone, Monica Jazik from RPI Education, and welcome to the Financial Freedom Summit. In this series, you will hear from 21 experts sharing powerful wealth building strategies that 98% of people are not using. These interviews are packed with real actionable steps to help you fast track your financial freedom. So let's jump in with today's guest, Debbie Morrow. Debbie, how are you?
I'm excellent, Monica. How are you?
I am great. I am so excited for this interview. Usually we're at the other side. I'm usually in the back end at one of your fantastic events or spending time reading through your successful Facebook business group. And usually you're the one hosting these things. So I love the fact that you're here as our guest today, speaking at the Financial Freedom Summit.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I think you have a lot of value to offer because we have a lot of people who are out here, they're entrepreneurs, they're people who are looking to create extra income in their lives. They want to achieve, the proverbial success for financial freedom, whatever that means to that person. So tell us a bit about yourself and what exactly you do and how you have achieved financial freedom in your life.
Okay, so a little bit about me. One of the things that that I've always known and that was confirmed recently on one of those personality tests,
Yeah.
is that I am truly a connector. That is what I do. Um, from the core of my being, I am a connector. I have always been great at networking and meeting people and learning about them. And then once I do that, I'm always looking to connect them to a person that can help them in their business or that they can help in someone else's business. And that's really served me very well in everything that I do. Um, I am a licensed realtor. I run a very large network for the real estate industry. I have a Facebook group with 360,000 members in it that is a real estate referral group. We have a newsletter that goes out to 175,000 realtors weekly. We host a lot of virtual live events that we have a pretty good attendance to, which is, kind of what you alluded to about coming to my events. Um, and, you know, I guess when you ask how I've done this, the one thing that I will say um, is consistency and persistence. That
Mhm.
is, I don't have any magic wand or potion, and I'm not the smartest person in the room ever. Like I don't feel like I know everything about everything. I I like to feel like I know a lot of people and I know how to get to the people that have the tools or the systems or the people that I need to work with. And I'm really consistent in everything that I do. I always been a workaholic. My mother, little did she know, instilled that in me early on when she made me wear specific clothes to school that I hated and I got teased for. And when I got my own job, I was able to wear what I wanted to wear.
Mhm.
And so, I've always been, you know, figured out a way to get what I want, and just it's all through consistency, persistence, and that's what I do. My virtual coffee events that you come to, the first gosh, even maybe 6 months. Sometimes we'd only have three people at the virtual coffee, and one of them was me, right?
Mhm.
So, now 4 or so years later, we typically have 75 or 100 people on each one of those calls. And again, you know, building up the Facebook group, building up the newsletter, any of the other things that I've built, it's all just consistency and persistence. And I can't say enough about that.
Well, the numbers that you quoted there are extremely like impressive. To have a list, an email list of 175,000 people, I think the average email list is only like 500 people. If people are lucky, that's incredible. Your newsletter is unique, interesting, and well written. If you have not subscribed to this newsletter, people, I'm gonna have to include a link to sign up because this is pretty good stuff. And your events are very fun. It always has an educational speaker, which very interactive. The timing is perfect. And you even like gear out breakout rooms. And it's not just real estate agents, it's other people in the real estate industry. I've actually become, this is one of the very few groups that I had actually come on because there are a lot of people there. People are energized, they're excited. You run it so professionally, you've done a great job. I think you've also, and 300, wait, sorry, how much is the people in your Facebook group again? What's the number?
361,000, I believe.
And it's a very interactive group too. There's so many dead groups out there. You put stuff out there and there could be like 17,000 people on some of these things and no one interacts. No one's posting. The mods aren't engaged. LinkedIn is another one that you're on as well, isn't it? That you have quite a high.
It is. Yeah, I think I have 26 or 27,000 connections on there. And again, it's just consistency. It is, I have, you know, my Monday routine every single Monday. I use all of they tell LinkedIn tells you you only get 100 connections, but I know that it's more like 200
Mhm.
connection requests per week. And why do I know? Because I use them all every single week. They shut me off by Monday afternoon, and I can't send out any more um, uh, connection requests until the following Monday because that's when their week starts. And so that's how I know it's consistency. I do it every single week.
I love that. I think this really is the path to success, really is not only, one step forward and consistency and persistency, but also one thing I was reading really interesting this morning in the Prosperity Bible, in one of the books in there, which is Think and Grow Rich, was on the importance of developing a mastermind group. And they say if you do not have, it really is the key to success is really basing connections with people. And if you're the smartest person in the room, guys, you are not in the right room. You always want to be with people and connecting people. The best thing that you could do for someone, for them to remember, is for you to give them a referral. People appreciate that. They remember that. And you've always even gone above and beyond. I've seen you in your own room referring people, really genuinely helping people, even after amassing this big, huge contact list. I think it's not just based on buying likes or those bots that a lot of people use, that inorganic list building and connection. It really is difficult and hard, but it's so worth it to build a list of genuine followers who really believe in you. They're going to attend your events. They are going to participate on your forums and your platforms, and they really appreciate all your efforts, and they have a chance to really get ahead. Because I do think it's not who you know, it's who knows you. I think that's the power really of referrals. And so you say you've always kind of like been this connector. I absolutely love it that you've actually created financial freedom, or wealth for yourself, a business based on making these connections. I want to, before we get into that story, which touches my heart here, I want to get into really kind of what you were doing before this. I know you're a born entrepreneur, but what were you really doing sort of before this? And when was that aha moment, that pivotal moment where you realize I want to do something different?
Okay. So um, well, if we go back to the early 2000s, I owned a window covering company in Las Vegas when the Las Vegas market was going crazy. And we had an amazing business. And that's actually where I grew to love realtors because 85, 90% of my business came from uh, realtor referrals. There was just a ton of new construction, and just realtors referred me so much. And so I just thought realtors were the best thing ever. They had all the customers that I wanted to have. So love them. My husband and I in 2009, when the market turned, we actually moved to Colorado, where he is from originally, and I went to work for a closet factory there. And so, still doing in-home service type of things, sales, and still, realtors were great customers because they, again, had those people. They were working with those people who were buying houses and who needed the services that I had. So um, I really pushed all in working with realtors, joined the local realtor association as an affiliate and joined Women's Council of Realtors and the HBA and that kind of thing. And I think that is kind of where my mindset came from. As far as referrals and networking with the right people and connecting people to the right people, I loved realtors because they connected me to the people I needed to be able to make a living. And so I fast learned that I could do that too. It's just really figuring out who has the same customer that you have and making those connections. So um, I found a product. This is going to be an interesting kind of shift. I found a product that I was using for my business, for my clients, to stay top of mind, to reach out, to send thank yous, that kind of thing. And I knew that it was a really good product for the real estate industry. So um, I became an affiliate and I started promoting that product in real estate groups, Facebook groups. And I got my hands slapped. I got kicked out of a bunch of groups. And eventually I was like, all right, kick me out of your group. I'll just start my own group. And that's kind of how this all started. It was interesting because at the time, most groups were private, and Facebook had really just kind of gotten into making groups public.
Mhm.
And so I thought, okay, I'll make it public because I want everyone to see it and be able to join it. And also at the time, you couldn't just start a group. You had to start a group and put another person in as a member. And I put my mom in. My mom was my first member of my real estate group, and she's not a realtor. She was even retired at the time. So, but then, I started growing the group. I called it a real estate referral group because I knew that's what realtors wanted, referrals.
Mhm.
And the group, I invited everyone I knew. I had been curating my friends list on Facebook for quite some time to be realtors or anyone in the real estate industry. Also, same thing in LinkedIn. All my connections were in the real estate industry. So I just started inviting all those people to the group. Somewhere around 40 or 50,000 members, Facebook decided that I must have a group of some value because so many people were joining. And Facebook started recommending my group. And that is, I can't take the credit for the group growing all by myself.
Mhm.
Facebook has done a lot of really good things for me in getting the group to grow to where it is now. And it was a really smart decision to make it a public group because if you were to come in and see somebody asking for a referral and you tag someone in that area because you know the right realtor for them, because the group is public, they can see that. And so now they want to join because there's a referral in there that they could get, right? So,
Mhm.
there's just been a lot of kind of, um, I got lucky, you know? But yeah, did that answer your question?
I love that answer. I think that's a perfect example of an idea turned into an organized plan. And you kind of figured out, you did your own thing. Like you said, you don't want to be told what to do. Um, totally get it. And you figure out the rules. I need to have one member, mom. Here you go. And it just grew. It's amazing how once we get to a certain number of people, then these sort of social pages, the algorithm kind of takes over. And then you're really able to accelerate. The problem is it's so hard to get to that point. And that's why I think so many people do these bots and do have these inauthentic groups. But remember, a wise person once told me, you don't get paid with likes. Um, so a lot of people are buying their accounts, getting likes and false comments and all that sort of stuff. And I really, really believe in that organic, starting, and also the way that you affiliated the referrals in there. I think referrals can be an excellent point of residual income for sure. And it's something that we've done a lot at RPI Education as well, is built a lot of one of our residual income streams through referrals. And everyone in business deserves obviously to get paid. And I think that if someone has a great offer, a legitimate great offer, and they're able to reward someone else for bringing in a client, why wouldn't you want to take part of that?
Right. Yes. And it's funny because now that the group is so large, I used to be the one out looking for the right type of product for me to promote to my group, but now those people come to me and they're like, "Hey, can we promote in your group?" And so and I certainly make sure that it's the right type of people for our group. That they're a good company, they have a valid product and that kind of thing. And so yeah, it's amazing how once it's like Field of Dreams, the Kevin Costner movie. If you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
They're
Exactly. Especially if they have great experiences like I had when I came to your group, and you come back again and again and again. So can you sort of walk us through an example of like a strategy of how you sort of work, with referral partners, or sort of what was your first big success on the journey to financial freedom, the income replacement? Because I'm assuming you're not working with are you still working with that MLM company?
Oh, well, it's an affiliate company, and
Mhm.
so I still offer their products because I
Mhm.
think they're amazing for realtors. When you were talking, I don't work with Closet Factory anymore, and
Mhm.
actually, the turning point was a family member. That was in Colorado. I live in New Mexico now. A family member got sick, and I decided I didn't want to wait till I retired to live close to this family member. I wanted to do it a lot quicker, and so developed a plan for financial freedom to be able to get out of work and into doing what I want to do. And the Facebook group, the LinkedIn, the virtual coffees, those are all part of building that income. I work with a real estate brokerage that allows me to earn income in a few different streams that is not only out there closing real estate deals. And so that residual income from that and the other affiliate products that I offer allowed me to, I created a 5-year plan. I'm going to do this within 5 years. And it was a little less than 3 years
Mhm.
that we actually picked up and moved to me sitting here in New Mexico today. So,
And the financial freedom plan, just to toot your horn for you, because I have a feeling you're not going to toot it yourself here, not only led to your own financial freedom and doing what you love to do, working, connecting, real estate, all your fun stuff. I think if you love what you do, you never really work a day in your life, right? It also allowed you to retire your husband, right?
Yeah, so my husband doesn't work anymore. Like he helps me do a few things for the Facebook group and for some of the events and things that we put on. But yeah, he doesn't have a job that he goes to anymore either. So that was all part of us being able to get out of, our jobs in Colorado and move here. We were in a teeny tiny town who couldn't support us with jobs in the, at the income level that we were making elsewhere. So we had to pivot to something that could support us.
I love that. I love and congratulations on that quest. That's absolutely amazing. And it's something that you can be really, really proud of as well. I love this talk about this residual income. And I wanted to kind of talk about the real estate brokerage. Are we allowed to say the name on this? I'm sure we want to get some
Sure.
we want to give some advertising for this. And I want to hear more because I understand that you do have an office coming to Toronto, Ontario, which is where I live. And real estate agents are really struggling in these markets. And as a business owners, real estate professionals, anyone out there, even people who have very steady jobs, we always say as wealth builders, you need to have residual streams of income, ideally seven, really, especially if you do not have that steady paycheck. You want at least as a business owner, seven streams of residual income. Real estate agents really are business owners in that sense because they operate independently. Now, let's talk about that now that residual income being more important than ever, about this real estate brokerage and how it helps its agents and why people should join this brokerage because it sounded pretty
Sure.
unique when you told me all about it.
Well, it is very unique. And it's funny because I am licensed now because of this brokerage. I actually had determined that I wasn't going to get the license, but I love this brokerage so much that I did decide to go out and get a real estate license so that I could be a part of it and take advantage of all the benefits they have. So, first of all, um, it is a cloud-based brokerage, meaning we don't have physical offices for the most part. With a few exceptions, there are some cities and states that require it, like Long Island. Um, Actually, their MLS, their association requires us to have an office in order to be part of their association. So we do have a brick and mortar office there on Long Island. But for the most part, we actually don't have brick and mortar offices. Um, and the really cool thing about that is it allows the brokerage to not have to use their income to pay for rent, insurance, electricity, staffing, a secretary or receptionist, whatever. We don't have to pay for all of that stuff. So it's all of that money that they would typically spend actually gets put back into the agents in the form of our benefits. And so we literally have a 93 benefits today. When I joined back in February of 24, we had 47 benefits, and I was like, no brokerage has that many. That can't be. I just don't believe it. It's too good to be true. And I came on board, and yes, they have all of those benefits, and they've just kept adding um, all the time to the point where we're up to 93 now. Um, some of the benefits, and you mentioned Toronto, that actually happens October 1st. So we're right around the corner from that. Um, Not all of the benefits are going to transfer because some of the benefits that we offer are healthcare, and you guys have your own healthcare system there. So not everything is going to transfer one on a one-to-one ratio, but from what I understand, about 70% of the benefits that we have here in the US will transfer to Canada when we open there, and we're working on expanding globally. It looks like Australia, Mexico, the Philippines, England, those are going to be the next areas that we expand into. And the residual income is now this is where it's key for me, introducing realtors to the brokerage. And when realtors do a transaction and the brokerage takes a little piece of their transaction, I get a little piece of that, that of the company's income, not from the realtor. The realtor, it doesn't cost them any additional to have me as their sponsor. And so it's one of the streams of income that the brokerage allows us to make. Another one is our stock. One of our benefits is earning stock. There's 6 different ways in the company to earn stock, as well as you can purchase it. And we're actually going public next year in 2026 as a technology company whose product is real estate. So we are very tech forward. Our CEO is actually a Harvard trained full stack developer. And yeah, it's one of the most exciting things. I am working to, get my little piece of the pie when it comes to all of the stock, so that when it does go public, I'm on for the ride.
That is amazing. That is so true. Those, I think you just named three pieces of residual income right there alone from joining. And I love how they take it from the business and there's an ownership perspective as well. That is so exciting. That is so exciting. You never told us the name of this new company.
Well, how could I? It's Epic Realty. And it is spelled Epique, Epic. It is the French spelling, and so when we move into Quebec, we'll be right on. Everybody will exactly know. People look at our name here in the U.S. and is that a peak? What is that? But it is the French spelling, and I think I think the founders just wanted to be a little bit bougie with it.
I like it. I like it. And I can't believe their office is opening on October 8th, which is so excited. So definitely connecting. I hope they're having some sort of welcome
Well,
party or something like that because I want to go check this out. Now, do
I'm
they have a bricks and mortar office there, or how does it work if you don't have, or do you have to have bricks and mortar in Canada?
honestly know if we will have a brick and mortar office in Canada or not. That's a great question. I will look into that, Monica, and let you know.
Yeah, well, I agree actually with that model of replacement of bricks and mortar because it costs a lot to open a real estate brokerage. It really does. When you have, like you said, you have the assistants, you have the office to pay for, all these sort of things. But if they're able to accommodate agents and support them, offer them training, keep them encouraged, and more importantly, make sure that agents are taken care of. And they understand that it's a tough time for real estate agents in this market. And a lot of people think real estate agents are a dying industry. And I really kind of find that difficult. I am a strong advocate for real estate agents. People say, I could do this on my own. And I'm like, but do you want to? There's a lot that goes into it, and the work that most agents do, there's a lot of marketing, a lot of research, a lot of negotiating, a lot of finding properties and time that put into it. Some brokerages I noticed, one thing is they are starting to reduce commission. Some are zero commission. I don't even know how that works. How could a brokerage reduce commission to 1%, almost 0%? Now, how are they even able to pay their agents, which is crazy. So it's great to see someone who focuses more on the benefits of how to support the agents in regards to these residual streams. Because even if they're not currently selling a lot of properties, they're also able to participate in the stock share and the stock participation. We have stock speakers on this webinar. So they're able to actually take some of their income and kind of grow it in that platform, or they could focus on their marketing business and try to get more agents on board and involved with Epic or Epique Realty and get people interested. Like that's really, really important because sometimes I think I heard once the average real estate agent, a new agent may make one sale a year and they're not able to make a living based on doing that. Too many people jump into too many different industries at the same time. And they have one foot in, one foot out. I find so many people who say, I'm a mortgage agent, I'm a real estate agent, and I'm working a full-time job, and I'm an insurance agent. If you're doing everything with one foot in and one foot out, I think that focus is really, really key. Diversification also is key, but diversification on that niche. So I think, audience, the key really is, aside from hard work, perseverance, and slow and steady wins the race, is laser focus. But how could I take one niche and make money from that 7 different ways?
Yeah, and it's interesting because what you just said made me think, if a realtor tries to be the lender and the insurance agent and all these other different things, what they're losing is when they find one client, yeah, they get to get 3 streams of income from that. But what they're losing is that connection and relationship with the lender and the insurance agent who have the same clients that they have and can bring the clients to them. And so if you guys are working together as a team and bring each other clients, it's relationship building. That is what I do um, every day. Real estate is a relationship game. It's not a game of just finding houses and that kind of thing. It's all about the relationships that you build.
It really is. Your network really is your net worth, and people try to do it all. I'm even so inclined to say the real estate agents we work with are even dedicated 100% to area and investment model. And a lot of people offer in scarcity mode, oh no, I have to be, operating in this huge area and doing all different types of real estate and all different types of models. So but if you, like what you did, took that laser focus step by step and built a business on one focus and on one thing, and we actually have a focus coach on this summit as well, that is the key to success. And you could make one of those residual incomes by having these referral arrangements with other people. You do not always need to be the expert in every single area, but you do need to build a mastermind team around you so you're able to help serve your clients as well as make some extra money while you're doing that. And I think that makes them happy and that makes you happy. And I'm sure you do the same thing back for people as well. As people give you referrals, I think everyone always ends up benefiting from giving
Yeah.
referrals for sure. So here's
Yes.
a fun question for you, because I've been asking this question to all the speakers, but I'm particularly excited to ask you this question. If you were starting from scratch today, so let's say you did another move, maybe you moved to Toronto to live near me and grow a peak realty. And so you don't know anyone except for me, of course. Let's pretend you don't know me, because if you knew me, we'd build your network really fast here. You have no followers, no capital, no connections. What what secret move would you do to get ahead fast?
So for me, it would be networking, and I would network in many different ways, in virtually, uh, through Facebook and LinkedIn and those types of things, through virtual events, but also in person networking. And so I think building the people that finding out what they need, connecting them, and then um, I cannot stress how important it is to build a list. And so I can do all of this networking on Facebook, and the group is 360,000 people, but you heard me say my my subscriber list is 175,000. Those numbers aren't equal, right? And it's because I didn't start building the email list as soon as I started the Facebook group. Had I started that at the same time, um, it would probably be a little bit more equitable as far as the numbers there. And so I have learned that building the list is what is most important, because those other things can go away at any time. Facebook can shut down and take the group away, and you know, any of Meetup could go away. Any of those things could just go away. But if I have a list of people, of email addresses, then I own that list, and I can always connect with people, in another way. So yeah.
I love that. That is like the power of a list, and not just a list, a transactional list, one that you have to keep and grow and nurture and communicate with and send relevant information to and prune. I think a lot of the time you have to cut your list if people aren't engaging or people are opting out. I think there's a whole CRM system behind that. It's so important to have your list, because as long as you have that list with you, or you know the tools on how to rebuild that list, I think that is the most important thing to success. An audience, if you have a business and you are not growing your list, say if you're just focusing on social media like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, which are all great, Debbie's right. They could shut down and go away, and you will have no followers. You always want to be capturing those leads. So no matter how many people like you or love you or follow you, you can't bank likes. You can't take likes to the bank. So we definitely want to capture their information, but then you have to nurture it. And with the information that you're sending, it's very, very good, very, very beneficial to them. What's more beneficial than to be able to help someone make money every month through a worthy cause? So I absolutely love what you're doing. Here's a couple of wealth building questions for you. So, what's the biggest lie or misconception about wealth building that keeps 98% of people stuck?
Well, I think that people and okay, so this is me being real and transparent, and that is 100% how I do everything, is transparent, whether you like the answer or not. Um, but I hear from people all the time, I want what you have, but they're not willing to do what I did to get there, which is again what I started the whole thing with: consistency and persistence. I have my SOP, and I do it whether I like it or not, whether I feel good or not. I'm doing those tasks that I need to do to build my list, my group, you know, um, my relationship bank. And so that is kind of a weird way to look at it, but I have, and it's not something that I keep track of like a bank account, but I do have a relationship bank, and I deposit into that relationship bank over and over and over again, so that I can eventually take out of the relationship bank. Who do you know that can help me get to where I need to go? And then because I've deposited, people are like, "Oh yeah, I want to help you," right? So, did that answer your question?
I love that answer so much. It reminds me of that saying, everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. So you really need to do the hard work, and it really is a grind in regards to doing that. But I love how you said you stay consistent, whether you feel like it or not. That is a trademark for successful people and for anyone who wants success in their life. Success is not an overnight success. Overnight successes are 15 years in the making. So it really is stay consistent and stay credible, stay humble, and do what needs to be done to continue the success and maintain the success. So, what do you see the top 1 to 2% wealthiest people and families doing consistently that the rest of the world ignores or avoids?
Well, I think we just said it. They do the hard things, but also I think there's a little bit of risk involved in what you do. You as an investor, Monica, when you buy a property, there's some risk involved with it, right? And you can't say for sure that tomorrow the market's not going to fall out and we're not going to have some trouble. I mean, think about what happened during COVID, and so many people here in the US. I'm not gonna I don't know exactly what happened in Canada, but here in the US, there was a rent moratorium. And so if you couldn't afford to pay your rent because you weren't going to work, your landlord could not kick you out. And what happens to the landlord? Now they've got these houses and these mortgages or whatever, and like, so anything could happen. There's always risk involved with what you're doing, but you do it anyways, right? And so you take the risk, you do the hard things, and eventually the hard work pays off. Some
Yeah,
of it's luck.
sometimes the biggest risk is doing nothing at all. That could be
Yeah.
the absolute most risky thing because you're never going to move forward if you're not growing, you're dying. So, but this was such a great interview. I'm so glad that we did this. Is there anything else you want to add? Or do you have a free gift that we could offer the group? Like an invite to one of your amazing events, maybe.
Well, certainly. If they are in the real estate industry, we put on a lot of events. We have our newsletter. I will give you my link tree. That's probably the best thing. It has all of the different ways to connect with me, the groups and that kind of thing. So Monica, I'll make sure that you have that.
Mhm.
And yeah.
That's perfect. Audience, I'm going to put that Linktree contact in the body of the email that where you watching this video from. So make sure to go back there after and connect with Debbie. Join the group, learn about this epic real estate. I think that sounds really cool, that brokerage. I can't wait to learn more. And thank you, Debbie, so much. I appreciate you so much. This was such a wonderful talk. And thank you, audience, for tuning in. Make sure to keep an eye in your inbox for tomorrow, where you'll receive another interview from one of our amazing experts showing you how to fast track your financial freedom. Thanks so much, everyone.